Hi, I'm Tim Quilty, the Liberal Democrats member for Northern Victoria in the Victorian Upper House. As we film this, COVID case numbers continue to rise in Victoria, despite the stage 4 lockdown of the entire state. The only way the Victorian government will get us back to donut days will be many weeks of harsh lockdowns. The case numbers in New South Wales are even higher, having broken the 1,000 a day level yesterday. This is of course sending health bureaucrats and politicians in both states scurrying around in a state of ever-increasing panic. We are stuck in an endless loop, as we have been for 18 months now. Cases go down, we're allowed to go out of the house. Quarantine goes wrong, case numbers rise, back we go into chains at home. Schools are closed, playgrounds are closed. It is becoming very clear that many Victorians have had enough. There is a growing unwillingness to follow the lockdown rules, because many of us can no longer see a way out of this endless cycle. Regardless of how hard we lock down to suppress COVID in Australia, outside the country it is spreading and mutating into new strains that, sooner or later, will enter our country. We have to stop chasing the impossible dream, COVID-0, and start planning a move back towards normal life. The Liberal Democrats are proposing we drop this pointless pursuit and start winding back restrictions. Open up our schools, phase out lockdowns, wind back the mask requirements. Allow peaceful protests. Improve quarantine so that we can get Australians back home. And we cannot be free until vaccines are available and voluntary for everyone who wants them. All of this will lead us to Freedom Day on the 4th of December. On that day, Australia will return to its old way of life, the days when we weren't told about COVID-19 cases every morning at 11 a.m, when we could move about freely without having permits or check-in apps tracking our every move. For too long, we've been prisoners of public health officials who have only focused on one goal: COVID elimination. In their politicised decision-making, they have neglected the costs of lockdown and the damage caused to our kids by remote learning. We've been subject to restrictions without ever seeing the advice or the working behind them, or the legally required human rights assessments. Once everyone has had a chance to become vaccinated, there'll be no reason whatsoever for the government to force us into more lockdowns. December 4 is far enough away for everyone who wants one to get their vaccination, despite the government incompetence in the vaccine rollout. The UK had its own Freedom Day on July 19. On that day, all restrictions were lifted. What was labelled a gamble has proved to be a model for what Australia can achieve: the restoration of normal life. News reports are now telling stories of nightclubbing, holidays, dining out, parties and weddings, with normal life resuming for everyone. Data from the UK shows case numbers increased sharply after Freedom Day, then plummeted. The number of deaths showed only a slight increase, demonstrating how effective the decision to open up was. Inevitably, there will be deaths in Australia after Freedom Day, and that should not be minimised. But deaths will happen whenever we open up, regardless of the date of Freedom Day. The virus is here to stay. We cannot eliminate it. But we also cannot continue to live this way. We cannot keep forcing people into situations where their mental health goes into decline. It's not acceptable to let small businesses plunge into the abyss. We have to stop robbing our students of their childhood by keeping them out of school. December 4, Freedom Day, will set us all back on the path to normality, get us back to our normal lives.